This is me Arzu here and I welcome you to my channel Mr. Teeth, where your dental concept get dissected. So this is our first video of the salivary gland, and in this video we will be discussing with its composition and the functions of saliva. Okay, so now without delaying much, let's start our today's video. So in the first point, as we can see here, okay, so in the first point, as we can see, saliva is a complex fluid that is produced by the salivary gland. Okay, so saliva is a complex fluid that is produced by the salivary gland, and in another point, as we can see here, okay, it forms a film of a fluid, okay, that is coating over the teeth and mucosa, which creates a washable environment in the oral cavity. Okay, so basically saliva is a complex fluid. Okay, so saliva is a complex fluid that is produced by the salivary gland, and it is forming the film, okay, over the teeth and the oral mucosa, which creates a washable environment in the oral cavity. Okay, so after this, as we can see here in the third point, there it is written that amount of saliva which is produced in a per day, okay, in one day, that is 600 to 1 liter, okay, 1000 ml. Okay, so this data is I have taken from Orban's. Okay, so there is variability in this data, but we can take one data and move ahead. Okay, so 600 to 1000 ml per day, you can remember this. After that, pH of the saliva is 6.7 to 7.4. Okay, and after that, composition. Okay, so in the composition, this is one of the most important topic of today's video. So composition, they used to ask in theory exam in short notes. Okay, so composition, saliva, we have 99% of H2O and 1% of inorganic ions, secretory proteins and glycoproteins. Okay, after that, the electrolytes. Okay, so inorganic ions contains electrolyte, and in the electrolyte we have sodium, potassium, chloride, bicarbonate, calcium, magnesium, SpO4, phosphate ion, SCN, cyanide ion, and fluoride ion. Okay, after that, the main organic constituent, it contains secretory proteins. Okay, and in the secretory protein, basically we have enzymes, and the enzymes that are present in the saliva are amylase, ribonuclease, kallikrein, esterase, nystatin, cystatin, and cystatin, and peroxidase, lysozymes, lactoferrin, and acid phosphatases. Okay, also there is a presence of the immunoglobulins, and that are secretory IgA, IgG, and IgM. Okay, so basically IgA is most important immunoglobulin that is present in the saliva. After that, the other constituent of the saliva are glucose, amino acid, urea, uric acid, lipid molecules, blood clotting factors are also present in the saliva. Similarly, epidermal growth factors, insulin, cam binding proteins, and serum albumins are also present in the saliva. Okay, so this composition of the saliva is very important. You should remember this, and this is usually asked in theory exams. Okay, so in the composition of saliva, you just remember there is 99% there is water, and 1% there is inorganic ions, secretory proteins, and glycoproteins. In organic ions, okay, so in inorganic ions we have different kinds of electrolytes like sodium, potassium, chlorine, bicarbonate, okay, phosphate ion, calcium ion, magnesium ion. Okay, organic constituent, we have enzymes, and remember the names of enzymes. Immunoglobulins, we have IgA, IgG, and IgM, in which IgA is most important. After that, glucose, amino acid, urea, uric acid are present there. Other components like epidermal growth factor, insulin are also present there. Okay, after this sorry, we will move to the another part, that is there are 4 factors, okay, that is regulating the composition of the saliva. Okay, so I have mentioned here more important factors that is regulating the composition. Okay, but also there are lots of factors that affects the composition of the saliva. Okay, so basically the 4 major factors are source, another is nature of stimuli, another is intensity of stimuli, another is time of day. Okay, so in which time the saliva is being produced. Okay, so that also determine the composition of the saliva. So you can just remember those 4 factors. Okay, so source, nature of stimuli, intensity of stimuli, and the time of the day. Other factors like we have differential gland contribution, okay, circadian rhythm, duration of stimulus, okay, nature of stimulus, and the diet also affects the composition of the saliva. Okay, so these are other factors affecting the composition of the saliva. Okay, so we have 3 major salivary glands. So we have parotid gland, we have sublingual and submandibular glands. Okay, so the major constituent, okay, so of the saliva, the water that is present as a major constituent of the saliva, it is majorly produced by the parotid gland. Okay, also it produces the more amount of amylase, and also more amount of proteins is secreted by the parotid. And the secretion of parotid is serous. Okay, I think you know about this. After that, sublingual. Okay, so sublingual, the secretion is a mucinous type of secretion, and it secretes lots of mucin. Okay, after that, submandibular gland. Okay, so it there is glycosylated substances. Okay, so those substances are more secreted by the submandibular glands. After that, total volume of saliva. Okay, so this is very important, you should remember. Total volume of saliva, that is 60% of is formed by the submandibular gland, 30% by the parotid, 5% by sublingual, and less than 1% by the minor salivary glands. Okay, so you should remember this: 60% by submandibular, 30% by the parotid, 5% by sublingual, and less than 1% by minor salivary glands. After that, there is a flow rate. Okay, so flow rate means how much saliva, okay, in how much time is being produced. Okay, so that is a flow rate. Okay, so in whole, in a resting condition, okay, when there is no any kind of stimuli, so in resting condition it is 0.2 to 0.4 ml per minute, and also in stimulated condition it is 0.2 to 0.4 ml per minute. Okay, so these data are from Orbans. Okay, so you can follow that. After that, parotid in resting condition it secretes 0.4 ml per minute and 1.2 in stimulated condition. After that, submandibular 0.1 in ml per minute in resting condition, and 0.8 in stimulated condition. Okay, so now we will move to the functions of saliva. So in function of saliva, okay, so the protection. So first of function of the saliva is protection. So washing action flushes away non-adherent bacteria and other debris from the tooth surface. Okay, so that is a major function of the saliva. Mucin also forms a barrier against the noxious stimuli, microbial toxin, and the minor trauma. Okay, so noxious stimuli, it forms as a barrier. Okay, so mucin forms a barrier. After that, mucin will with other glycoprotein provides the lubrication. Okay, it also provides the lubrication. So the main function of saliva is protection, so washing action, and another is a barrier action. Okay, so barrier against the noxious stimuli and the minor trauma. After that, buffering action of saliva. Okay, so this is also one of the most of the important functions of the saliva. Okay, so buffering action, bicarbonate and phosphate ions in the saliva produce the buffering action to the saliva. Also, the metabolism of salivary proteins and peptide by bacteria produce urea and ammonia that increases the pH. Okay, so by the also metabolism of salivary proteins. Okay, as you know that the bacteria that are present in the oral cavity, okay, so they just ferments the substrate like carbohydrate is. Okay, so they just ferment those substrate and they produce acid. Okay, so that decreases the pH of the oral cavity, and that initiate the formation of caries on the tooth surface. Okay, but this salivary proteins, okay, they metabolize, and salivary proteins and peptides, they just metabolize by the bacteria, and they produce the urea and ammonia, okay, which increases the pH. So there is a balance between the pH in the oral cavity, so you should remember this. After that, pellicle formation. Okay, so many salivary proteins binds to the surface of the teeth and oral mucosa, forming a thin film or pellicle. Okay, so this is also a function of saliva. After that, maintenance of the tooth integrity, the high concentration of the calcium and phosphate. Okay, so this calcium and phosphate ions are important, results in the post-eruptive maturation of the enamel, increasing surface hardness and resistance to the demineralization. Okay, so maintenance of the tooth integrity. Okay, so this is also one of the functions of the saliva. Okay, high concentration of the calcium and phosphate results in the post-eruptive maturation of the enamel. Okay, okay, now another function is antibacterial action. Antibacterial action means the spectrum of proteins are present, okay, in the saliva. Okay, spectrum of proteins with antimicrobial activity such as lysozyme, lactoferrins, peroxidase, secretory leukocyte protease inhibitors, okay, are the are those proteins that are present in this saliva, and they act as an antibacterial agent. Okay, after that, secretory IgM causes agglutination of the specific microorganism. Okay, so we have three different kinds of immunoglobulin present in the saliva, so I have discussed here. Okay, so we have IgA, IgG and IgM. In these three, okay, IgA is more important. So but here IgM, okay, so here we are discussing with the IgM. So IgM causes agglutination, okay, so secretory IgM causes agglutination of the specific microorganism. After that, tissue repair, okay, so this is also another function of the saliva. Variety of growth factors and other, okay, other biologically active peptides and proteins are also present in saliva that results in the tissue repair. Many of those substances promote the tissue growth and differentiation, wound healing, and other beneficial effects. Okay, so this is also one of the functions of the saliva. After that, digestion. So it provides the fluid environment for the solubilization of the food and taste substances through the action of the enzyme assist in the digestion of the food, okay, like that of amylase. Okay, so there is amylase, salivary lipase is also there, okay, so those enzymes they facilitate in the digestion of the food. After that, taste perception. So solubilizing food substances so that they can be sensed by the taste receptor, okay, so as here written, okay, so it provides the fluid environment for the solubilization of the food. So after solubilizing, okay, so they can be sensed by the taste receptor. And another point, saliva produced by the minor glands which are at vicinity of the circumvallate papillae contain protein contain protein that bind taste substances and present them to the taste receptor. Okay, so we have also papillae present in our tongue. Okay, so I have discussed with those papillae in oral mucous membrane video, okay, oral mucosa, so you can just watch that video, that video. Okay, so I have discussed that circumvallate papilla, okay, discuss in detail about the circumvallate papilla. So around this circumvallate papilla we have minor salivary gland, okay, so that is called von Ebner's is present there. Okay, so around the circumvallate papilla which produce the protein, okay, that binds the taste substances and present them into the taste receptor. Okay, so that is also one of the function of the saliva. After that, speech, okay, so speech, it keeps the oral cavity moist and well lubricated, that facilitates the speech. Okay, so it moists the oral cavity and also well lubricated, that facilitates the speech. After that, mastication and deglutition is also another function of saliva, and other function is excretion. Okay, so many substances from the blood reaches saliva, considered route of the excretion. Nitrates in the food reaches the saliva, and other reduced nitrates by the microorganism that are considered to be an important in carcinogenesis. Okay, so it is also the form of excretion in our body. Okay, so we have discussed with different functions of saliva. So I'll just recite once again. So first function is protection, another is buffering, pellicle formation, maintenance of the tooth integrity, calcium and phosphate ions, okay, high concentration of calcium phosphate ions, you just remember those ions, okay, results in a post-eruptive maturation. Okay, after that, antibacterial action and also tissue repair, digestion, taste perception, excretion, mastication, deglutition, and speech. Okay, so those are the major functions of the saliva. Okay, and this saliva topic is one of the vast topic. Okay, so we can discuss a lot much in this topic, but the notes that I am giving in this slide, okay, the note that is the thing that is written in these notes, okay, so that is enough for your university level examination. So now in the next video we will be discussing more about the salivary glands. Okay, so till then, stay happy, stay healthy. So tata, bye bye, and thank you.